物置にしても随分狭いな。
いいえ。この部屋が私の家です。
Demon Lore 2099, should you watch it? That is a fantastic question. I think the answer is yes. And I think we're going to be here for the season, but that will be determined episode 2, episode 3. I 100% do think that this is one of those anime where we as a whole need to watch 2 or 3 anime episodes. Now, I'm a big proponent here on the channel. I truly believe that, like, really, episode 1 is the anime and the studio's best foot forward, and it's the thing that needs to grab the viewer's attention and say, come back for the next 12 weeks, 13 weeks, 24 weeks, whatever it is. I think a lot rides on episode 1, but there are that little sliver of anime where I do genuinely think we need to see a little bit more. There was enough here to kind of justify another view, but there wasn't enough here to definitively say, like, yeah, I think I'm in for the long haul. And I think that Demon Lord 2099 fits in that little sliver, because here's the thing. My honest reaction, my honest review of the show is the episode holistically was a little bit boring, okay? So I did feel a little bit bored. I felt like it could have been a lot better. So it was a little bit boring. But the questions, the subject matter, what it introduced to us, kind of like what, like its value proposition. And what I mean by that is, like, you know, the thing that makes it unique, I think, is good enough. And it is an interesting take, right? So you have a demon lord who, you know, very, very normally was like demon lord facing off against the hero. The hero ends up taking, killing the demon lord, and the demon lord proclaiming, like, "I'll see you again." And that in fact does happen, because either he has a cycle where he reincarnates, or he has reincarnation magic that he was able to employ just in case, like a safety measure, before the hero took him on. It might be a natural thing. It might be something that he did conscientiously. Regardless, though, he did initiate a reincarnation. So our boy reincarnates 500 years in the future. So that's already, you know, a pretty good value proposition, a pretty good, you know, sales pitch to why we should watch it, right? Demon Lord reincarnates 500 years later. Well, comes to find out that there are folks that are considered immortal. And the immortals, one of them is his subordinates found him. And she tells him, like, hey, throughout your 500 years of slumber, you know, while you're reincarnating, here's what ended up happening. Our Earth, you know, our world and Earth collided, and it created a phantasmal world where a lot of the population died out. And now they're in a Cyberpunk 2077 type world where magic and technology combined, and now they have this new magic tech world. And he wakes up in Shinjuku, like a version of Japan in the future, and they're now 80 years removed from that world devastating occurrence. So his subordinates have been through a lot of shit in the last 500 years. We'll come to find out that one of the dudes who used to work for him is like the leading person of like some magic company or something like that, and he's a piece of work, and he totally ruins the demon lord's day. And they have like inserts into their bodies now where they can basically, like, anybody can do magic, and it's way faster, way more efficient than how it would have been traditionally done. And then all the technology moved in as well too. So he gets his ass handed to him. And then the episode ends with him and his subordinate heading to basically her little apartment, like her little studio apartment. And she's been through the ringer as well too, you know, moving, surviving, and then now just like working or whatever she does. She's like, I don't make much of a salary. Like, poor girl, right? So I think the good here is, what is a demon lord? This is like a Mao-sama, you know, situation. Like, if you ever seen the other demon lord anime where he comes and works at McDonald's, like, this is definitely like one of those situations where, okay, now the demon lord not only has to adapt in this new magic tech environment where magic isn't all omnipotent, people can cast similar magic with just money and technology. But then he has to get adapted to this new way of life. He has to get adapted. Like, what is he going to do? Is he going to get a job? Is he going to give up on world domination? And then he met some interesting folks this episode. He met a girl who was a hacker. And then he may have bumped shoulders with either the reincarnation of the hero he faced off, or the hero he faced off may also be a immortal person as well, too, because they seem to just be carrying their sword as like a homeless person. So is it going to be a situation where the Demon Lord and the former hero try and figure out together how to live in this new world? So I think what's cool here is like what's going to happen with the Demon Lord. How is he going to survive? What is he going to do? Is he going to get a job? Is he going to go to McDonald's? Is he going to try to be a streamer? Is he going to try to be a VTuber? Is he going to try to destroy the guy Marcus? Like, what's he going to do? So I think that's where the value comes in. Now, the negative side of it is, although the value's strong, the episode was kind of boring. My eyes glazed over a couple of times. Nothing exciting happened. The little tiny fight scene between him and Marcus, and then the Demon Lord and the hero, they were okay. I mean, they were very serviceable. They were like manga panels, like subpar manga panels at best. Like, so overall, like the show's a little bit boring. So I think that may be the challenge that the show faces is a balance of interesting but then boring. And if it skews one way, it could skew into us not being that interested in it. So I say I'm going to give it another episode or two. We'll see how episode 2 or 3 shakes out. If episode 2 really sucks, I'm dropping it on the spot. If episode 2 is all like, builds upon episode 1, we'll give it one more, and then I'll just make a decision from there. And I think that's what we should do too, or you should do too. But I will say, like, if you were bored, and even like the Demon Lord in a cyberpunk world doesn't interest you, I think just drop it. Don't bother with it. Don't even bother watching anymore. So yeah, that's my take on Demon Lord 2099. Okay, a very 6 out of 10 star, but what makes up the 6 rating, I think there's enough to just give it maybe another 1 or 2 to really see if it can grab us. So yeah, Demon Lord 2099, 6 out of 10, episode 1. All right, my friends, I'll see you guys next week. Peace.